Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at 14 tips and tricks that can help you with your bingo progress. So with the bingo coming up in about 2 hours, I thought it'd be good to make this video now. However, before we get into the 14 tips, first, for those who haven't played bingo before or don't know how it works as well, I will give you a rundown of the best way to start your bingo profile. If you know enough about bingo and you know how to start your bingo profile and do all the first stages, then you can skip this. I'll put a timestamp on screen now. But firstly, let's have a look at this. So when you first spawn in, the first thing you're going to want to do is run over here and get yourself a rogue sword from Jamie. That'll just make things a lot faster. And then, I don't know why my computer's lagging so much, then we go over here, break wheat, sell it, buy a shovel with efficiency 2 on it or more. If we warp desert, from there you're going to break sand until you reach mining level 12. Once you've reached mining level 12, warp deep, and you're going to want to get 3 different types of ores, of 10 enchanted ores to get into the dwarven mines. So I suggest doing redstone, lapis, and then choose between gold, iron, or coal. Once you've got that, you should be able to go to the dwarven mines, and once you're here, if you need to go to the crystal hollows, do your 4 daily commissions. I assume you know how to do those. However, if you don't have to go to the crystal hollows, or if you don't have a commissions task like this bingo, then you're just going to want to go down to the forge and then over to the ice walker area. From here, just kill ice walkers until you reach combat 12 and you should be all good. Also, they buffed how many they spawn, so you should be able to have at least 2 people farming them at once. Doesn't take too long. Also, additionally, you get armor from them, which can be used for defense and for mining if you have mining commissions. And once you've got combat 12, warp end, and you're going to want to talk to the NPC that will show right here. If you don't know how to do that quest, I'll quickly tell you how to do it now. So for him, you're first going to want to kill 5 endermen, come back here, buy yourself a void sword for 200,000 coins. I'll get to how you can get those coins in the tips and tricks, by the way. So 200,000 coins, and you get that sword, enchant it up as much as you can. Make sure you reforge any armor you get, by the way. Then kill endermen for the armor and necklace. Mine these ender nodes for the gauntlet. And then go down to the dragon's nest in order to get the cloak and the belt. And you can also get the short bow if you want. So that's how you do that, and I've obviously completed it, so I've got the lone adventurer here. So now let's get on to the 14 tips and tricks. So firstly, we'll talk about how you can get coins easily. So relatively recently, there was an update to Hypixel Skyblock where you can actually get a lot more coins from skills. So if I go to a skill I haven't leveled up much, let's see, we'll go to alchemy, for example. You can see that I'm getting 400,000 coins, 450,000 coins, 500,000 coins per level up. Early on in the game though, you'll be getting around 10,000-ish, sometimes more, depending on what level you're at, and those coins add up, especially from taming XP, which is passive. So from those coins, you're going to want to make sure you constantly go to the bank and deposit them. I believe the quick bank thing is currently glitched on bingo right now. It was last bingo, I don't know if it still is this bingo. So if that is bugged, then just come over here and make sure you don't lose those coins. And once it comes time for you to buy things, such as the void sword, you can come back here and you'll already have the coins for it and won't have to grind for it. The second tip is for a specific task that is often seen in community goals. So if you need to break lots and lots of crops, I highly suggest using sugarcane. So if you go to your garden and come over to once you've made a sugarcane farm, you can see that when you break a sugarcane, you're actually breaking 2 crops, because you're breaking this one and the one above it. So that means you're going to get 2 times the amount of crops that you would from farming something like netherwort or carrot or potato. So if you do have that community goal, which does come up quite often, I don't believe it's in this bingo, but if you do, or you just want XP, you make sure you do sugarcane. For XP, I probably actually recommend doing pumpkin, but that's another story. For tip number 3, many of you may know this already, It's been a well-known fact for a long time in Hypixel Skyblock, since the beginning of the game. Jungle axes are not worth it. Do not go for a jungle axe if you have a foraging goal. I made this mistake for a while and wasted a lot of time, hours and hours of time doing foraging with a jungle axe. If you want to get foraging done quicker, get yourself a efficiency 5 golden axe. Now you may be thinking that's not enough to break wood, and you'll be right. However, there is a Discord server called Bingo Brewers, which I will leave a link to in the description below, which you can get daily splashes from. Sorry, not daily, hourly splashes from. You can sometimes every 30 minutes, and you'll get a god splash of all the good potions you can think of, and they are free. Just volunteers who do that for bingo players. So if you want to get free splashes whenever you want, make sure you join the Discord server. Link will be top link in the description below, and that itself will be tip number 4. And for tip number 3, remember the haste you get from the potions will allow you to break the wood instantly, obviously. So for tip number 5, involves fishing. So this bingo, there is a goal where you need to do fishing, and there are actually two goals we need to do fishing. And many people will just opt to use the normal fishing rod you get from the fish merchant. However, there is a much better option that was added about a year and a half ago called the Chum rod. Chum rods maybe take half an hour or more to get, because there's a little quest line you need to do along with Moby. So if you don't know how to do that, there's tons of tutorials on YouTube. There's probably tons of tutorials out there on YouTube, so just go look that up. But Chum rod, enchanted up, is the best early game rod that you can use for bingo. Another fishing one is a special strategy that I came up with for when you need to deposit lots of chum. So, let's say you have a goal where you need to deposit lots of individual bits of chum. That goal for some reason comes up a lot too. So once you've got yourself a chum bucket, we'll just buy one of those here, an empty chum bucket. And I'll give you an example with a stack of chum. So let's say you have a chum bucket and a stack of chum. Let's go to the park and place it down. And let's say you place it down here. And the thing is, every time you fill up a chum bucket, you can't unfill it, meaning that you have to constantly get new chum buckets in order to get that goal. For this, however, with this trick, if you put in 9 chum instead of 10 chum, there's a feature in the game that you can exploit, where if you run far enough away from the chum bucket, it should just pick it up. There we go. And then you come back here, and you place it down again, and then put in 9 again, and you just keep doing that, repeat over and over again with all the chum you have, and you'll only ever need 1 chum bucket. I don't think this is an intentional game feature, but it's not a bug, so you can use it if you want. Just makes that goal a lot easier. If for some reason you were ever to need, for tip number 7, if you were to ever need, for some reason, mushroom, the best way to farm mushroom is not actually by breaking these with an axe, or by breaking these with your fist. There's a certain enchant that you can put on an axe that will allow you to get mushrooms a lot quicker. This was only discovered relatively recently, I believe, for most bingo players. I believe it was Bingo Bros who realized this, and basically all you gotta do is enchant your axe with Silk Touch, and you'll end up getting the block of mushroom instead of the individual mushroom, meaning that you are getting it's either 4 or 9 times faster than you usually would. So that just speeds up that process so much. It just means you can get night vision charms, mushroom armor, mushroom collection, anything you need, much quicker. For tip number 8, I will show you a way where you can do the arachne boss, which does come up quite a lot, killing arachnes for combat, whether it be for combat XP, money, golds, spider eye collection, string collection, anything really. There is a certain hat or helmet, you could say, that you can use to make those boss fights a lot quicker. So if you come over to the barn and you kill the cows, kill about, I believe it is, let's see, 100 cows, you need 100 leather collection, and you come over here and craft a cow head. You can see that its buff is, it grants immunity to debuffs while equipped. Now poison is one of the things that the arachne gives you, and it also is classified as a debuff, meaning that wearing the cow head you won't have to have any debuffs. You won't have to worry about any debuffs or your health going down to half or anything while wearing it. The only issue with it, which is why people don't use it, is because it's a common hat and it has basically no stats. But for the very early game in bingo, it can be very useful for when otherwise you don't have a good helmet anyway. Tip number 8 is relatively self-explanatory, but it's something people often forget about. When you come to Boo Boo over here, you can get yourself the tier 2 pickaxe, which is very easy to get, and it's actually better than the diamond pickaxe, meaning that you can use the same pickaxe for both mining mithril and mining titanium, because obviously if you're using a diamond pickaxe you have to use this one for titanium. It has 250 mining speed and it costs 200 mithril and 97,000 coins, or 100,000 coins rather. I've just got the talisman settled with the family. But with those, you can obviously get coins really easily through the skill level ups, and mithril you'll get really quickly, faster than you'd expect, and with that you can mine mithril slightly faster. Often in bingo you'll have many goals that involve breaking a large amount of crops or getting a lot of farming XP, and a good tool you can use for that, which you can unlock in the early game, is in the Sky Mart, and there's actually two of them. We've got the Advanced Gardening Hoe and the Advanced Gardening Axe. They each cost 25 copper and require Garden level 5 I believe, and they come with Replenish and bonus farming fortune. The Replenish is the main thing, and obviously that enchant means that you can break the crops with an axe or a hoe, and the baby seedlings, or with sugarcane I believe it's just the, actually it doesn't matter with sugarcane, in like for example cocoa beans, if you break it, it'll instantly replant it with stuff on your inventory, and you just wait for it to grow again. I'm assuming most of you know how Replenish works. But obviously it's very difficult to get that, impossible to get it on bingo actually, because it needs bits, and you can't get bits on bingo. So the best way to do it, or the only way you can do it, is by getting that axe or that hoe, and it makes those goals much easier. Tip number 11 takes us back to the hub, and we've actually got it here as an example. So this bingo you do need to get a certain amount of pets, and that is often the case for quite a few bingos. And a good way you can do that and not have to get a bunch of enchanted eggs is by crafting, or buying, sorry, these pets here. So you can get the tier 1 and tier 2 pets are usually doable. For example, this time the tier 1 pet isn't really doable because you need raw fish, and the tier 2 pet also isn't doable for this because you need raw chicken, but often you'll get ones that require wood and other stuff, and they materials that are quite easy to obtain. So if you do need extra pets for the goal, if you come back, make sure you're always here when a travelling zoo comes by. You could definitely get at least 2 or 3 of those just by getting the materials beforehand. There are also Discord bots, I believe, that do show, or websites, one or the other, that show what the next pets are going to be. Or you can just wing it and see if you can get the materials within an hour. Tip number 13, if you head over to the park, and let's say you need foraging XP, or jungle collection, I suggest using the jungle area to get those. Obviously jungle wood, you'd have to use the jungle area, but for foraging XP, most people, for some reason, I mean I know the reason, it's that there's a lot more of it, but most people use the dark oak wood. However, since there's so many people using the dark oak wood and it gets really crowded and difficult to farm, I suggest you come up here and farm the jungle wood here, as it's often a lot more quiet, and although it's slightly slower than dark oak, it will end up being faster most of the time because of all the people farming dark oak. And for the final goal, number 14, is a goal that will actually contribute to your main profile while on bingo, and that is when you're in the end and you need combat XP, or you need to kill a certain amount of endermen. There is a goal for that this time, for killing a certain amount of endermen, or you need ender pills or an AOTE or whatever. Make sure that you kill the 9,000 endermen, and the reason for that is if you go into the bestiary, go to the end, and enderman, we look at level 50 enderman, you can see that there is a very small chance in this one to drop a legendary enderman pet. I believe it's like something stupid like 1 in 300,000. It is very low, but it is possible, and many people will get it. And let's say you want to kill, I don't know, 10,000 Endermen. That gives you a 1 in 30 chance of getting a free, how much is it? 49 million coins, or 50 million coins. So I highly suggest you do that, and obviously the chances are you won't get anything, but it will also give you extra combat XP, and it's just, you may as well do it. I mean, it's not changing anything, not making it any slower. So yeah, that's a really good one that you can use for your main profile. Anyways, that is it for this video, for 14 tips and tricks for Hypixel Skyblock Bingo. If you did enjoy, consider dropping a like and subscribing. I'm not here to force you, but it does help out the channel more than you'd expect. We're trying to get to 600 subscribers right now, and we're getting quite close, so I appreciate it if you did subscribe, if you did find us useful. But apart from that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon in another video. Goodbye.